Can you put a staircase? Not all doors.
All right. Good afternoon, adventurers. Welcome to John's Dungeon Corner, here live at the Collective in Altamonte Springs, Florida. Woohoo! It's a nice day. We just had a storm go through, just like in the adventuring world. We had a storm yesterday. It kind of caused havoc. But we are back and we are live, and we got clues and we got all kinds of good stuff. Today's show, you're probably wondering what it's about. Well, it is dedicated to the Collective Crypt Crawl tomorrow, starting at noon. If you have not called, if you have not sent an email, hey, look, here's Brendan.
Yeah, we're talking about the Crypt Crawl.
We're talking about the Crypt Crawl. And if you have not set up your time yet, you need to call, you need to email, you need to run down here, jump on your flying carpet, whatever. Get on down here and sign up because there's limited space, okay? That's important. We're going to start at 12. Now, I will tell you this. The 12 o'clock slot has gone.
We have some other people that are interested, but what we'll do is you may not have 5 people. And
What? Not 5 people?
You may not, because you might need to meet other adventurers.
Okay, so then what happens?
So if you are a single person or party of 2, then when we get 5 people together, they get to go.
Oh, it's like the roller coaster rides. Hey, don't worry, we'll
like
put you
that.
together. Off
The
you
buddy
go.
system.
The buddy system.
Nobody wants to die alone. They always want to die. They want to die with 4 new friends.
Yeah,
So
I don't really think they want to die, Brendan.
I don't think you should have picked a different profession than going through the Crypt Crawl.
That's true. That's true. All right. So, hey, listen. So we're going to start with something simple, the mechanics, okay? Because I know there's going to be some D&D players. Listen, what we did is took the mechanics to D&D and bare bones, just so we could try this, okay? Brendan spent many a sleepless night. Well, he was probably up anyway,
Yeah,
but
probably
sleepless
anyway.
nights. We want to make it sound good. He spent many sleepless nights poring over the tomes on how to create this craziness.
So we knocked it back and forth, so nothing could go wrong. But if the first group all dies in the very first room,
It's
before they get to the
Brendan's
next
fault.
one, that just happens.
It is like that.
And
Okay.
if they skate through, then
Then it's my. Then I. That was my. I get that part. See.
if they're still running around looking for things to kill. But anyway, the whole concept behind it is you've got to be smart. You've got to figure out exactly where you're supposed to go, and you're still gonna have to swing your swords and shoot your arrows.
That's right. Okay, so let's talk about mechanics. All right. First of all, each player on their turn gets 2 actions. How many is that? 2. Uno, dos. These actions can be used to move, to attack, to support each other, or to interact. So let's go through that real quick. Move is simple. I go from here, I go up there.
Can I go 30 feet or more
You can
than
go
30 feet?
70 feet. However big the room is, you can just go. We ain't measuring
Wherever
nothing.
there's not an obstacle. You
That's
can-
it.
Yep.
And if there's an obstacle, just jump over or use a heroic leap. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Okay, you can attack. So if there's monsters.
But wait, moving though.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I've got, here we go. I'm right here. I've got 10 feet. If I'm coming through, I've got to stop and I got to meet him. Now the next person though can walk right past. However, if one of these is the fighter, which
The
we'll get
fighter's
to,
going to be purple. Da, da, da!
fighter. Now all of a sudden here comes a goblin. He's got to engage him.
And here comes the other goblin. And he's got to engage him
He's gotta
too.
engage him. The
But
fighter's
here comes a
butt
third
shoulder.
goblin. He's going to get by.
If there is room.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if that's a
maybe.
10-foot corridor, then
2
the fighter
goblins.
can sit there and yeah, there you go.
And he can act heroic.
I
All
will
right.
tell you, the fighter has more life points, but
You
the
can't tell him
dungeon,
that yet.
but the dungeon has more goblins than he has
Life.
life points.
All right. Remember now. Okay, well let me get back to that in just a second. So
Let's not-
support. Support is okay. So let's say Brendan and he's the fighter and I'm the rogue, and I go, well, I can't really do anything this turn, so I'm gonna go, Brendan. You know what? I'm gonna give you my 2 actions, and I'm gonna support you. So what does that do for you?
Wait a minute. No, what it is if you've got a skill that you need to find something,
Oh,
you need to open
okay.
something.
I got ahead of
Then
myself.
I can say I'm not going to take any of my actions. I'm just here to support. Then he gets it. So attacking, you don't get the support.
'Cause that's
There is
support
something
too.
for that. There is
Yeah.
something for that. But instead, the support is going to go ahead. I'm giving up mine, and you're
And
going
he
to
gets
get
a +2.
You're going to get a plus
Yeah.
2.
I wanted to kind of do that separately, but okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because now there comes the interactions where you're not always having to fight a creature. There may be a chest, a trap, whatever's there that you have to interact with. a door. I
You might
mean,
wanna lock
open,
a door.
close a door, lock it. So you can do that as an interaction. And in that case, that support would give me a +2 if I need a die roll. I mean, to close and lock a door, it doesn't take anything, but to do a trap, disable a trap or find a trap, somebody can support you and give you a +2 to your roll. Okay, so that's that. Now let's go. You may move anywhere in the room in a straight line on a move action. We kind of covered this. If that brings you next to an opponent at any time, you must stop and engage. You may move away from an opponent with no penalty with a move action. So literally, you could technically, if that's an orc and this is the guy, the rogue, he can come up. Okay, that's my action. But you know what? I don't want to be there because I got to get to that trap to see if that I can disable that trap. So I'm going to move again, and I can move away from him
On your next turn.
on my next turn. Well, I
Right.
get two actions, so I
you
could take
can.
2 move
You
actions.
could take 2 move actions.
But whatever. I mean, that's just a for instance of how that works. Okay, very simplistic. You can also drag another player who has fallen in a room using both your actions, and a straight line movements and opponents don't come into play. That's basically simply that's an orc. The rogue fell. The fighter picked him up and is dragging him to the next room to get him out of the trouble. Okay, he doesn't have to interact with the goblin. It takes his 2 moves and he's done, and the rogue is now safe from dying.
The person has to be unconscious.
Correct. Now,
Yeah.
let's see. An opponent cannot move past you if you are in his straight line. A second opponent may move past you if you're engaged, unless you are the fighter. We talked about that. The fighter can engage 2 opponents before a third opponent can pass. Enemies may or may not move in a straight line. You know, what do you want out of orcs and goblins?
So,
Hey, Max, Jason, good to see you guys.
yes.
Yes, Jason, dragons, goblins, and mimics, oh my. All right, so, and the last thing is the order in which the players move. The bard, the rogue, fighter, wizard, cleric, and then everything else, which is your opponents. And your opponents can be orcs and goblins and, oh my.
Other things, probably dead things in there too. because
No, I
it
don't
is
know
a
about any
crypt.
of that.
It is a crypt.
Oh dear. Okay, so listen. Okay, so here we are. Let's talk about, and I'm gonna do these in the order that they go in. Okay, so we're gonna kind of go over the characters.
The 5 characters.
5 characters,
Everybody gets to pick one that they're best suited to play.
and I'll let you do the bard.
Oh, so the
I'll let
bard.
you, I'm gonna. We will kind of do this as a co-host. This is Brendan,
The bard always goes first, so he is always the first one to act.
probably because they're
And so
so.
you know the mechanics. All of
Hi, Danny.
the adventurers act, and then at the back end, all of the bad guys act, and then that's the end of the turn. Then we go into the next turn where we start all over again.
Oh wait, before you go too much further, since he's a bad guy, listen, guys, this is important. There's no timer. You know how you go in an escape room and they tell you either the fastest group or 2 hours or whatever the time limit is. Well, here's the time limit. The monsters.
Yeah,
if
they
they
have-
kill you, it's over.
Yeah, then your time is up.
If you get to the end and you
They're
win,
inspiring. They're inspiring. Yes,
Yeah,
I mean they're inspiring you to move ahead. Now we've done a couple of demos in this, and I had the one guy, and he just wanted to sit there, and he kind of wanted to heal up and just fight all these things until he realized they were all coming through. It's like you've got a door right there. You should go through the door. He was like, "No, I'm going to fight him. I'm going to fight him," and it was just like, "Okay, this is only going to end one way because there are more orcs and goblins than there is time."
so that is your clock are the goblins and the orcs, just so you know.
So
All right.
now everything is a D20 system. You rolled a hit, it doesn't matter. A hit is a hit is a hit. Doesn't matter what kind of armor anybody's wearing. Some people have more lives than others. That's where their resistance come in. So the bard, he's only got 2 lives that he can go ahead and do. At that point, he goes down. Nobody is dead unless everybody goes down. Then they're all murdered. So as long as you've got somebody still standing, that's going to help. So the bard, he goes first, but he's got some interactions. He can inspire another player. So he can give them, and then they get to roll 2 dice and take the greater of that. So there is no non-inspiring a bad guy. He can only do that as a positive. He can do that to like a rogue if a rogue is looking for a trap, or to a cleric if he is trying to go ahead and destroy undead. So he can do that, and that gives that person an extra dice to roll through their entire turn anytime they have to roll a d20. But it's not an automatic. The rogue, he only gets that when he rolls a 3 to a 19. On a 1 or a 2, the inspiration fails, and he's got to say something inspiring, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how a bard works. On a 20, though, he's got a double inspiration, and he can inspire somebody else in the same round.
20 is good.
He also has a bow, and when you have a bow, you can shoot anything in the room. Anything. Hopefully not your guys, but you can shoot anything else. So he has that. And he can also, this is an interesting thing about the Bard, he can change the order of players. He always goes first, but if the fighter is down and the cleric goes after the fighter, he can move the cleric up and the fighter down. So that way, so he can do that at the beginning of his turn. It doesn't cost an action or anything else to move the players around. Maybe it will next time, but not this one.
Nope.
So there we go.
All right. So now here's a cool thing. Now the rogue. The rogue is cool. He also gets 2 actions, move, attack, special abilities, interaction. So he, though, is a little more beefier than his fellow bard there. He has 3 lives. 3. Love the number 3. His attacks are with a dagger. And on a 9 through 15, he hits once. 16 to 18, he hits twice. And, of course, being the rogue that he is, on a 19 and 20, not only does he get 2 hits, but he gets to do it again. Now, he has a unique special ability. He can detect trap doors and secret doors. He'll roll a D20 on a 9 to 18. Boom. He finds it. Now, a 9 through
Now
20.
he's gonna
That should have been 9 through 20. Oh, my gosh.
No, because he can unlock the door then.
Oh.
He can disarm a trap.
Unlock it or lock the door on a D20 on a 10 through 20.
You're right, on a 10 through 20.
Oh, so he can do 2
so
and 2 for 1.
He might detect a trap, but if he rolls that 19, 20,
hello, love. There was my
then
wife.
he can go ahead and disarm it at the same time.
Yep.
Otherwise, first there's a trap, then on the next action you would have to disarm it.
Got it. See, that's why I have a co-host. This is Brendan. Everybody say hi to Brendan.
You'll
All
figure
right,
it out
that's
after
right.
the first trap springs and kills somebody next to you.
That's right. Now he has the items he's running around with is a small bag of flour, 3 spikes, and twin daggers because that's the way it goes. All right. So you talked about the fighter here. Talk about the fighter.
Great. The other cool ability that the rogue has is if he doesn't move, he can give the move to another player. And then that person can.
Oh, look at that. I forgot
and
all
do
about
their
that. I was going to
action.
keep that secret. My bad.
Okay.
That's right. He can give up his action and
Very
make
good.
another character move.
Well, they're gonna have
He's
to,
sneaky like
they're
that.
gonna have to absorb all this there. So these guys are already
Yeah.
gonna get.
We're just kind of throwing stuff at you.
So the fighter is very cool. He's a lot of fun. He's got the most lives. He's got 4 lives. So he's going to.
He's a
survive
lifer.
More hits. Hopefully they'll keep him alive. But he also hits pretty easily. So on a 7, he's going to hit. On a 14 to 18, he's going to do 2 hits. On a 20, he's going to do 2 hits. Plus he gets to roll again. The fighter has got that cleave action where if he goes in and hits a goblin and he's got 2 hits, he's putting that next point right into something else, or he can hit anybody adjacent to him. The fighter is also the only one who can use both of his attacks to hit. So a little mechanics there. The rogue could give up his move. The fighter moves to where there is a whole bunch of orcs and goblins, and he can swing not once, but then he can take his 2 actions and swing twice. So he's the only one. He can break a door on 11 to 20. If he breaks a door, though, you can't spike it and you can't lock it. So you might want to do that behind it.
That's important. That one part right there. Let me split the damage.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I said. He split the damage among multiple other targets. Yeah. So if he does
That's really
3,
nasty.
If he does 3, he can.
Hey, William.
Anybody within him, he gets to go ahead and hit. So anyway, and he's also got the broad shoulders. So if you put him in a 10-foot hallway, nothing is coming past him. So
Nothing.
no.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about the wizard and the cleric because they're the wizard, they're the magic kind of guys. So let's talk about the wizard first. 2 actions, same thing. But he's kind of like as we like to say, crunchy. He's only got 2 lives. Him and the bard, those 2, they peas in a pod. Bees in a pod. But he hits on a 10 plus, on a 20 he hits twice. But here's the cool thing. He has a really neat abilities. Misdirection. This is crucial. You see something, you're like, oh my gosh, this thing's gonna. You can use misdirection, and the target opponent does not take its first attack action.
So
it just
if
kind of sits there
only has
going.
if it only has 1 attack
It
action,
kind of goes, what to do. So that's nice. He also can open doors. He can unlock and open a door on a 13 through 20. He can hide a door. Now, this is really neat. He can hide a door on a 12 to 20, and then the enemies have to roll on a D20 13 plus to find the door. So, like I said, the orcs and goblins are the timer. So if you can slow them down however you can, that's up to you. And of course, what wizard would be a wizard without being able to detect magic? So on a 5 and up, he can detect magic in a room. On a 15 and better, he's specific to what and where. And of course, he carries a traditional wand. The traditional wand, very small wand, but it can be a wand. Anyway, so that's our wizard.
Big, heavy staff. We can
Yeah.
make people work.
Oh yeah, staff.
And a big
Next
2x4. It's really authentic.
A 6x6. Oh, I'm carrying my staff. All right, so let's talk about the cleric. The cleric is really neat.
Wait,
cleric.
you forgot the most fun thing about the wizard, the magic missile. As somebody told me, and what, you didn't even put the magic missile on there. Okay, well, magic missile because they can hit. Now, the nice thing about magic missiles is they always automatically hit in D&D, but not in this. You still got to roll. So I was being called.
This is it. The magic missile. The wand.
Oh, there it is.
There it
yeah,
is.
There it is. This
It's
one.
just, yeah.
On 10 through 19, he hits.
Yeah, we
On
talked
20,
about
he does 2 hits. Okay, so he does have that weapon. I was called out in one of our demos. It's like magic missile always hits.
Oh yeah, this ain't D&D though.
Probably, you're right. But
Yep.
this is something completely. This is a crypt crawl.
This is the collective crypt crawl with all new rules. They're loosely based on Dungeons and Dragons.
But anybody can step in. You can bring your mom. You can round up the neighbors. I mean,
Bring in the neighbors. That'll be kind of fun. It's Halloween weekend. Come on, guys. Okay, so then we got the cleric. The cleric is a little bit buffier. Has 3 lives. They attack with a mace. And their attack is 1 hit up to a 19 on 22 hits. But the cleric is important. They can heal. So they can use 1 action to heal 1 player for 1 life in the same room. And when we say rooms, in other words, just got to be specific. So each area that you go into is its own room. In other words, you can't environment. You can't I can't stand here in the back in the studio and cast a spell into the front area. Okay, so that's what that would be. That's a different room. I'm a room.
And you could move from one room to another and engage somebody, but you can't shoot from one room.
Correct.
To another.
So that's why it says in one, and you can use this ability twice in a round. So if my fighter's hurt, I can heal my fighter, then turn around and use another action to heal the rogue.
And that is anywhere in the room.
And that's anywhere in the room.
He doesn't need to be standing next to us.
No,
just
I'm just going to stand here and go, which is kind of cool because normally curing wounds in D&D, you have to be next to the person.
You do.
Unless you use
It's
the
that touch
other
thing.
the healing.
So this
Yep.
is just kind of like a math. Well,
Now,
math.
Here comes the fun one, though. The Destroy Undead special ability. You roll a D20. And depending on what that D20 on an 8 or better, I'm just going to give you the number. 8 and better. The higher, the better. You will destroy from 1 point all the way up to 6 points. And the numbers, you'll see them. They're on the paper for you. But it's amazing. It's a very powerful ability if you should run into undead. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Well, it is a crypt.
Is everybody dressing up tomorrow to do the crypt crawl?
Well, if
Okay.
you do,
So here it is. This is kind of something I was going to surprise, but since you asked out in front of everybody, yes, the first adventuring party is coming out in full costume, and I'll be in full costume all day. So I don't know what the folks at the collective are doing, but we're going to show up like that. It's going to be really cool. Some of that first group is going to stick around to help me keep running it for a while. Some they're just going to be hanging out for a little bit. So yes, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Woo!
you might get something a little extra for dressing up.
Yeah, you might get an extra clue, which is coming up in a little bit, but not yet. Okay. The cleric carries the mace and a cleric symbol. Now, when we say carry, we're not going to give you a two-handed sword to carry.
No.
We're not going to give you twin daggers, a mace, a wand. Basically, this is just what
we don't
you're
have
carrying.
An armor on staff.
Exactly.
So it's
We
like
don't have any
everything
armors
goes.
on staff. I think we went through the mechanics. We went through the characters. I think that's important. So
there's a couple of clues that we could recap, though.
yeah, let's recap those
So
clues.
we gave a couple of clues, and they're kind of like vague or whatever, First of all, you've got to role play with Caliban, who you were told to meet. He's also kind of told that he is trustable. He's your friend, but he's got his own agenda too. So he probably wants them. You've got 5 coins. Do you give up all 5 coins? Do you give up 1 coin? And what are you going to get for those things? So he is open to maybe being complimented. There's a couple other clues that we had in there that might come into play. One is you never put a staircase in a storeroom. There's just not room. Things get stacked up on top of it, so it's probably not. Another one is like the thief might know, is not all doors are meant to be open. I mean, maybe some shouldn't be open. So, and it would really behoove the thief, the rogue, to probably spend his coins, nothing else. So there are a couple of things there. You got 5 coins. Are any of them magic? We don't know. We don't know, but maybe somebody does.
So you're probably wondering about today's clue. I was kind of thinking about this, and we were going back and forth, and it's neat. We're going to take something that's you hear a lot, even in common day today, today in our world. I like to say, because we all live in these neat little worlds and try to escape to them. But in our world, it really needs saying. Sometimes you're wondering why you didn't understand something or why a situation went sideways on you, and you'll hear somebody go, "Well, you should have read the writing on the wall." So the clue today is read the writing on the wall.
Sometimes you got to find the writing on the wall, but
sometimes you got to find it, but it's there. Read the writing on the wall.
Write you a letter on the
That's
wall.
right. Nobody, maybe. Hey, how many dungeon cells have you ever walked into and you see Kilroy was here? Oh no, wait a minute. That's anyway, but you get the point. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So read the writing on the wall. That's the clue.
And there we are.
I think that's about it, isn't it?
We're gonna listen tomorrow. It'll be fun.
If you get here a little early and you want to look over the characters, we're going to have extra character sheets out there that you can look over. You can see the premise of the whole thing. Go online. We'll have it laid out so you can kind of get an idea. You can watch people do it. But if you're going to do it, I don't suggest it because that's kind of like a spoiler. It wouldn't be much fun. It's like following somebody through an escape room and then going in after them. I mean,
so we'll try to, if it depends on how many people we have up here,
right.
We might just kind of space it up there. And maybe after that, we could let somebody go through again and see if they get it right, especially if they fail miserably. But
like
here's
in the first room.
Our big disclaimer is we've ran some of the mechanics of the combat scenarios. We don't know if these clues are going to make this a cakewalk or if you're going to be sitting around like my D&D group and says, we had no idea what we were supposed to do. It's like, it's right there. You've been playing this game for 40 years. It's right there. And they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
They couldn't read the writing on the wall.
Can't read the writing on the wall. Where was this supposed to go? I was texting somebody.
There you go.
If this goes south or it goes just too far north or whatever else, we're not responsible, and we might just change it on the fly. So
that's true. We may make adjustments. We may make adjustments.
This is going to be the first one.
Yep.
Because it's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
So we're going to see what we can do to make the next one a little bit better. But thank you for coming out, and look forward to everybody coming out and playing.
Yeah. So make sure. Now remember, we start at 12, and we're going to run. I think we're going to try and run like one every hour or 45 minutes. It just really depends on how long, but the maximum time limit in real life is going to be an hour.
Well, if we got a long line, we can just put all the big bad guys up front and just kill them off easy, and then say, "All right, back
like we said, the disclaimer is you probably won't make it.
Sorry, we got a line, guys. We got a
line. We got to kill your group off.
You put me against 4 ogres, and they crushed me.
Where'd that dragon come from?
Oh yeah, the dragon shows up.
The best part is, since we're at the collective, there's not many creatures we can't get our hands on. So if a dragon shows up, it's not my fault. He just kind of butted in.
Not his fault.
And who's going to argue with a dragon? Oh, by the way, do you like that? We're at the library.
Yeah.
We decided to come at the library. This is a lot of fun.
We've got a lot of rooms in this place.
We just have a good time here at the collective. So listen, and Dungeons and Dragons ain't the only thing that's played here. So there's tons of games, board games. You guys got to go out on the website every once in a while and see what's up there. There's board game nights, Magic. Come to the store.
What about Dungeons and Dragons night every
Wednesday night? Dungeons and Dragons. There's Magic the Gathering. There's board games. There's just so much stuff. Card games, board games, role playing games, miniature war games, dice.
Oh, now that's true. We may have some employees going through it too because they don't know. This is just kind of like
this is it right here.
I think only me and John know. So if people do come out, it's just like
that
might happen, but we'll see because the more people we have go through, the better it's going to be.
And you guys are kind of helping us play test this in a way too, because So thank you for those of you who come out. I'm gonna tell you in advance, thank you, because like I said, this has changed. Brendan ran it at the Crucible and had some people go through it, and that changed things. And after we talked and watched you guys play, we may change things on the fly if it's too out of whack, or for the next one, it'll just keep getting better and better and better. And you know, at least
So
every
this one-
Halloween.
On this one, we are going to be giving away
Uh-oh.
to anybody
Uh-oh.
that actually, I mean, there is something in there. If you can make it through the whole thing,
The whole thing.
then, and I mean, it is. If nobody dies until the last character dies, then you're done. But if you do make it through, then you will be put in the drawing for all of the winners, where we will have some stuff going out there.
Yep.
So we
See,
will have-
Brendan's great.
So we're gonna.
He
do
ain't
some-
got to do that,
We're
but
gonna do some things, and
the
we'll see what
collective.
happens, and then we'll figure out just how we want to go forward with it. But thank you for coming out,
Hey.
and we look forward to seeing everybody
As-
tomorrow. Happy Halloween.
Yep. As always, may the road always rise up to meet your feet. Fellow adventurers, I will see you tomorrow at the Collective Crypt Crawl. See you then.
Okay. Now we can
Now we can end the broadcast. We're ending the broadcast. Look, I'm going to end the broadcast. Uh-oh. I did.
Uh-oh. Not ended. Not
Is
ended.
that ended? It's ending? Did that end?
And that's a dictionary for end.
Oh,
That's the oh, there's the thesaurus for end.
did it end?
I don't know.
I think we're still alive. Are we alive?
It looks like something's going on.
Oh, why does it do that to me?
I see Danny up in the corner. Maybe.
I think it ended. Yeah, I think it did end. I think so. I'm gonna put the camera on there, cover it up, have some fun.
There we go.
I'll ask my wife if it's still on.
There you go. Okay.
All right, so that was cool. Nothing but Crypt Crawl. I forgot to put that on there. I forgot a couple things on there.
So we got just a couple of things, but no, this will work.
The magic missile, instead of one, I should have said attacks magic missiles.
That's okay.
Okay, so let me see. And I got to move this under. Hey, love. We're still alive.
We're still alive.
Hey, we're live. My wife called me to let me know we're still live. You like that? Look, Sarah's calling me too to tell me it's live watch.
Oh, we're just waiting for the envelope.
Hey, Sarah, we're live? Yeah. I love it. I was just talking to Christine. I think I accidentally hung up on her. Oh, this phone drives me crazy. Let me see if we can get off live. That's great. Well, thank you, though. We're still live, brother.
All right.
Let me see if I can get Maddie over here real quick.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Oh, you can see me. Where should we be? StreamYard?
Plug the camera,
Yes.
plug it back in, is what Max said.
Okay, let me see if I can give it a
I
go.
really should learn how to do this.
So we just go to just Google Chrome.
So